You're tagged in it too.
Love that.
Evan Russo.
Tony, pleasure.
How you doing? Crooked Spine Show. Thanks for watching, guys. Again, this is Evan Russo of Senior Fit, a company here locally that does national and international.
Not yet.
Not yet. National at least. Working with seniors to keep them fit physically and I'm going to say mentally also, based on what we just talked about.
Yeah, that's a big part.
This is our second show. We did this last one back in June of 2020. This is still the pandemic, my friends. So we're trying to help people understand, even though we may not be able to commute together in our workouts or training or group training for right now, and we're getting more of a lockdown right now also, my biggest thing with Evan is, how do we understand how to stay fit when we can't socialize, when we can't be with our friends and family? How do we do that so not only does our body stay healthy, but also our minds stay healthy so we don't go crazy?
I like that you touched on that. That was good.
That's huge. We know so many clubs, you know too, that have shut down during this pandemic. And where do seniors work out? I don't know.
It's tough.
It's tough because their routine is going in 6 in the morning every day, seeing Sally, seeing Mary, seeing their friends, seeing Johnny, and they want to go. This is how they socialize. They go on the treadmill, they do the cardio machine. They do a simple workout. They get out. They're done by 7:30, and they'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
When you lose that, and you've gone through, like I said, the last year and a half since our last podcast, how have seniors started to understand how to stay healthy in that Plan B setting? What have you seen that for someone in that it was working out, but now wasn't able to? How do they maintain their health physically and mentally? Because you work with what's your back up a second.
Yeah.
What does your work entail? What do you normally do with seniors? What do you usually do?
In terms of what I do with seniors,
yes,
I teach group classes.
Okay, good.
It's built on a private practice that I had.
Good.
And I fell into working with seniors because I specialize in, essentially, like we're talking about before, orthopedic massage, therapeutic exercise, pain, injury prevention, and recovery, which is like my core foundation of my workout classes.
Good.
So you don't come in around doing burpees and thrusters and like skaters. We're
As
working.
a senior, like, where's my wheelchair after this?
Exactly. So we're working a therapeutic exercise program, but done in a more enjoyable, engaging, sort of, I want to say light-spirited form. Because I feel like therapeutic exercise can get really bogged down and heavy. Because we're both practitioners, right? We go based on diagnostic methods for like the average person. They don't care. They
go, that's awesome, you know that stuff. You had great, UCLA, correct?
Yeah, UCLA.
UCLA, I'm a UCR kid. We have certifications afterwards, which is great. You look at my wall over here, we have a bunch of stuff on the wall.
Yeah, plenty of stuff on the wall.
Great for like good first impression. After that, someone wants to know who you are. How are you going to help me with my problems? If you're a chiropractor, if you're a trainer, they want to know, if you haven't come from a referral, what are you going to do to help me? That's the biggest thing, right?
Oh, absolutely. And we were talking about before, like, for me, results is the most important aspect for my clients. Not for me, it doesn't make me happy. So when you asked me before we started the show, what's changed since the last time we did this was everything, because I look at the result I'm producing.
Good.
And I used to, younger in my career, be very attached to one form of training and being like, oh, it's not working for you. Well, that's because you're not working it right. No.
We all were. We're all naive.
Exactly. So if something's not working now, I'll trash it. We'll put something new in. And that's what it's evolved into, this new structure that really is at a level that everyone can participate, but also at the same time, if you want to go up or you want to go down, you can stay within this range of, like, you know.
So you're still getting your results for you, but you've modified it for different levels.
Exactly. So how people get results is, like, everyone has their level, right? And we're here, but then there's things you can do in the class to go up, and there's things you can do in the class to go down. That's how everyone gets results. Because if you walk in and your fitness level is extremely high and the class is very sedentary and slow, you're not going to get results out of that.
Yeah.
You're going to walk out being like,
you're going to tune out.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're able to get people to understand, as you have been the last year and a half plus, to adapt your workouts to them. Has that been difficult to do based on how many clients you've had, how many workouts you've had with them, or how do you usually do that? How do you adjust things through feedback?
Always ask. Always ask. Got to ask people, and more people provide more feedback, but I always make an effort on my classes to go around each person, talk to them, ask them how they're doing, ask them if there's things they like to do.
Good.
But for me too, since I've been doing this for a while, is I can read in a class.
Done.
You see someone working out, and you're like, that's too hard for them.
Yeah.
Who else is it too hard for? Or oh, that's too easy. Like I gotta step this up.
Like that person is faking it. They're not sweating. They're screaming, but they're not really working out.
Yeah, exactly. But so what we're trying to do now, moving forward from this, is like we were talking about, is how do you get people motivated? You got a great class, you got a great practice. How do you get people to participate? Because that's the
start, correct?
Yeah, start.
Okay, good. How do you? And when someone starts, what is the mentality? We talked about it earlier too, of someone that hasn't started, and just it wants to, thinks about it, but what's their mentality beforehand?
So with older adults, and this is actually kind of true for most populations, is exercise is hard. Exercise is exhausting. It causes me lots and lots of issues. So you have this problem mindset. It's hard, it's issues, it's sweating, it's work, I gotta pay for it. Like, we're not selling cupcakes. Like, this is a tough sell.
No.
Right?
Cupcakes aren't gonna make you stronger, lose weight, more flexible.
Exactly. It's not gonna actually improve your health. But yeah, so when we're looking at someone who hasn't started, it's, okay, let's change your mindset around what you think exercise is. Because people think exercise, and this is part of just what fitness marketing is too, is they think, guy, shirt off, shredded, girl, freaking hammering, I'm like, that's not what exercise is at all. Especially therapeutic exercise. Especially exercise for older adults. So they're thinking, oh God, this is going to be really hard. No, it's going to be fun. Good. The class is structured so your first class could be easy if you wanted to. But just try it. Make it just, it's like, just come, just try it.
Be excited of something different, because when we're uncomfortable, our body can change, right?
Yeah.
And our mindset can too. So that stressful event might be stressful, but your friend Sally did it and she was happy with it. So why wouldn't it help you? Do seniors have, I was thinking right now, seniors have an anxiety because they have a friend or themselves have had an injury, a hip injury or a knee replacement or a hip replacement, and now they went through that physical therapy pain. They don't want to go through that again, or is that something that comes up in your conversations?
Most all the conversations, right? There's some reservation about a specific injury or bad experience.
Good.
Because senior fitness is very, 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 very immature in terms of its training growth and progress and science invested into it, because no one wants to do it, which is sad because I loved this. But what happens is they'll go to a person who works them out like they're not a senior, who doesn't have the specialty training, and they're going to have a bad experience.
So you're going to a college kid who works out and has minimal certifications at a big box gym and doesn't modify their workout to someone because they don't understand the person they've gone through in the past, what the limitations are, not have the experiences you do, not to pat you on the shoulder, but I will, that has worked with people that understand there are different ways that you have to work out to be efficient without causing injury and risk.
Exactly.
Good.
Exactly.
Good.
But so there's that convincing aspect, right? And that's that reservation. But then also the injury spot of, okay, well, I'm already hurt. I can't do workouts. I got a bad foot. I got a bad ankle. I got a bad everything. Yeah. And so when someone has that, we always say, like I said before, there's exercise for every level. Everything can be modified. You can work around any injury.
Good.
And actually, you'll find the more you come, the more you'll actually start to strengthen whatever it is that's injured. And as well as I do, there's exercises for everything.
Yes.
You have a frozen shoulder, you got a bad knee, you got a twisted ankle. Whatever there is, we can work around it and then strengthen it so it feels better.
As long as they have an ankle.
Hey, we work with amputees too. Why not? I've done it.
But a lot of it is once you get them to have the switch. Oh, it did help. Oh, I do feel better. What else can I do? How long does it take for someone to get to that mental state where you feel that hope's coming in?
How long does it take?
This is someone who has years of experience with seniors. That's one.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It's not a happy number. It's about 6 weeks, right?
Yeah, of course.
So if you take 6 weeks and really invest, but you feel good after the first class.
Yeah.
Even if it's just because you're like, wow, I did it, and that was awesome.
Like what?
But you'll physically, the way I designed the classes, you'll physically feel a little bit taller, a little bit stronger. You'll be like, okay, I worked out, like I'm a little tired, but you'll feel, there's benefit to this.
There's a permanent change in my body versus a quick feeling good after a class.
Yes, exactly. Now, I wouldn't say permanent change, but the thing is,
it has thought to do the work.
It like opens the gates. You're like, I see where I could be, and then you go back to your old movement patterns. But the more that they participate and they learn, after about 6 weeks, they'll look back and be like, wow, like I have made a lot of progress, and that someone like that will keep coming consistently. But you're right. It's like, okay, who is the person that comes?
Yep.
And tries it once, and they're like, it's just too hard, right? It's just too much. And it's like, even with the variants, all the things, like, it's just too much. And those people, they don't really like exercise. So what we do, and what I try to encourage, is like, a peer, and we talked about a peer, someone else they know that can talk to them and just share their testimony and be like, hey, you know, I know you didn't like that first class because it was hard or you haven't worked out a long time. It's like, I was like that too. And most people start like that.
Yep.
But the people who keep coming have a little more resistance, a little more persistence. They're like, oh, okay, look how amazing this is. Let me talk to my friends. And that doesn't happen naturally. I have to ask them. Like, you know, please go out and tell your friends because it's important to them.
It's important to them in the sense, in my sense, you're trying to keep these seniors independent, out of a hospital, off of medications.
Yeah.
There's chance of injuries that makes them dependent. So you're trying to help the rest of their lives, which could be 30, 40, 50 years for some people, a lot better quality of life, both physically and mentally.
Big time.
When I see that picture, I'm like, who wouldn't try that? But again, that 6 weeks is your window. I even tell people anywhere from 3 months, basically up to 3 months, may take you time so your body can change physiologically, and you want to maintain that healthier state. You change your habits to want to go.
Yes.
To want to eat better, to want to make sure you stay healthier.
Absolutely.
It just takes that time. And I give people 3 months because I want them to understand it's a lifestyle change, not just a quick fix. It's huge.
Absolutely. And that's, while you're saying that, that's exactly what we want. Physiological changes, we want long-term changes, we want to change the habits.
Yes.
And it goes back to, well, how to get them motivated. It makes me think, because probably a lot of listeners, too, are thinking about their parents. I get this all the time. They're like, they're like, oh, my dad needs to work out. My mom, that's the first person I think of. And they're like, oh, they don't listen to me. And it's
of course not.
Yeah, of course not. It's a kid-child relationship.
You're their kid.
Exactly. So I tell them, like, don't force things down your parents' throat. No. But instead, find someone else who's their age to talk to them.
Yes, there's similar. There's a respect value.
Exactly.
And if you're a parent, you love your kids, but they haven't lived long enough as you have. They know you, but they don't know that you have this issue going on. You may share with your friend Fred more than you would with your kids about your health issues.
Yes.
You don't want to burden your kids with more information, more stress. So as a mindset of a parent might be.
True.
Yeah.
And then I'm extrapolating it further. It's like, well, what if my parent doesn't have any healthy friends? And it's like, okay, well, what you do?
Some work to do.
This is a big one. Is do the workout with your parents.
Good.
I have people that come with their child. They come with adult child. I'm not thinking like kid. It's like an adult child. Be like, you know, if I was with my parents, and then and they do it with them. I'm like, oh, and
that works.
Then they start getting that feeling, and then the feeling will carry them forward.
But like you mentioned too, a lot of it is getting that feeling to settle in and become their normal feeling. Right, that's the key. If we can get their normal feeling to it, you can read them and you hear that change in their voice. Hey man, I felt great after workout. I said, what else can I do? Once you hear what else I can do, what else can I do? What else you want me to do to get that feeling to feel stronger, to feel more flexible? I can do more around the house. At that point, then you got them. When I say you got them, you got to understand the work you've done the last 6 weeks has now built up to you having that feeling of feeling good all the time.
Absolutely, which is the main goal.
Yes.
And what I like and what I love about your approach too is that you're always about fixing something.
Yes.
Right? It's not, oh, here, let me just, there's a difference between fixing and solving. Let me solve your problem, but you got to keep coming back. You're like, I want habit changing, like full.
Yes.
And I really like that. I appreciate that a lot. And that's kind of the goal that we want for our classes too. And you're right. When people get to a certain point and they go, well, how do I do this and this? That's amazing.
Perfect.
And you see, and this has always been with group classes, is there's a group of people who they hit that limit and they've come consistently and they're like, I'm just going to keep coming. and they keep coming and they make it a part of their habits, and those people see the best results.
Why? I think I know why, but why?
Well, I mean, everyone consistency is key, right?
Yes.
But realistically, looking at a scientific level, is like you're changing how your brain relates to your body. And what I've seen, I see this a lot with my clients, is they start to pick up things. You actually see this all the time. They pick up things throughout the day. All of a sudden, they're bending or picking something up, and they're like, "What? My back wasn't straight." Or they stand up and they're like, "Oh, I can twist all the way around." Or they're walking, they're like, "Wow, I wasn't bending my knees." And they have these little awareness, and it's like, that's it. You just figure it out, you know.
Or I went home, my son or daughter, I helped them fix their posture when they're sitting.
I love that one. Yeah, that's a good one.
You know, or my grandkids, they just don't stand up. I help them. I use that video you showed me, how to fix my standing posture. At that point, it helped them too.
Yes.
They're paying it forward. And I think when someone is consistent and they feel the difference and they're good at a certain point, they reach a level of physical health, they would want to continue going to your class because it's easy. You make it easy for them. They show up to your class, they feel good afterwards, the next day, the day afterwards, over the weekend. Why not go again to maintain that easy way to stay healthy?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not you go, okay, I'm done with you, I'm done. I'm going to go to the gym by myself and figure out myself now. Who wants to put in that extra work now to start over again?
Exactly.
And have a chance of injury because they're not working with someone who's doing the right thing. Maybe work with heavier weight or heavy weights or things that they're not used to. They hurt themselves.
100%.
So once you get consistent, for me, it's something to where why not just show up every time?
Exactly. I mean,
that's
if only everyone had that mentality. But in terms of like my classes, my classes aren't the end all be all of exercise. It's not the only way to train.
Yeah.
I mean, it's done in a group atmosphere. That's fun, and yes, obviously, I take pride in them. I think they're great. But if people want to explore other options, I always encourage that. I always tell them, but I tell them first, make sure you actually evaluate it for the risk. I don't say it like that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying they're like, let's see when that comes up a lot. Like they're like, oh, okay, I want to try. Running is one, but I discourage running for. If you're over the age of 70 and you're running and you haven't been running your whole life, I don't recommend it. But they say, I want to try weightlifting at the gym. It's like, sweet, let's do it. But like, okay, what are you going to do at the gym when you start lifting weights? Are you going to get someone to help you, or are you just going to walk in and start doing things? Yeah. And then they're like, oh, but it's like, I tell them, and I always encourage weightlifting, I go, well, the stuff you learn in the class, apply it in your weightlifting mechanics. Like, if we learn in the class, keep your shoulders back. It's like just very when you're doing your rows.
Posture, yeah.
Exactly. Keeping the back straight. I mean, just throw very generalities, but like in terms of like bending your knees right, and that's good. And what I find with people who do that is they go to the gym and they're like, okay, that was pretty good, but like let's keep going to classes too.
Good.
Because it's more fun in a group. Like it's more fun in a group. It just is.
And you follow through more.
You show a higher level of accountability.
Well, you show up when you don't want to show up.
Exactly.
Because your buddy called last night and made you, hey, you going? I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll go. Don't want to go, don't think about going, but I'll go.
Yes. So, like, what's one way you keep your clients motivated? Or patients, sorry.
Good, sorry, no big deal. My thing is just having to understand what's your next goal. What we talked about earlier, too, what's your better? We're never going to be 100%, right? But how do we get better? May it be endurance, flexibility, or strength. What's the next step for you? What in your quality of life you want to improve? Is it longer sitting without pain? If you're able to walk further, you're able to jog further. You're able to go and do a long drive and be able to not be in pain. How do you want, and I always try to set up at the very beginning of their patient care, is you came in because you were deadlifting, hurt your back 3 months ago. You stopped deadlifting, the back's not better, the meds you took last 2 months haven't worked, PT hasn't worked, they want to do an ortho exam to possibly do an MRI and surgery. You're here now. My job is to take things stepping back and reversing it and getting to where you're good enough to go back to deadlifting as part of your routine. I want you back to your quality of life pre-injury so your body can actually know it's better, it's healed. That's my biggest thing. And that's because that's usually the biggest fear. What they've stopped doing is their fear is going to cause more injury. Of course, my senior patients, a lot of it is, I want to be able to empty out dishwasher without being in pain. I'll be able to walk my dog around the block without being in pain. When I say pain, I go, it's pain, but it's also weakness.
Yes.
How do we get the pain to go away so the strength will allow the pain not to come back?
Absolutely.
So my full circle is how do we get people stronger, like you do, giving them stretches, giving them exercise to do at home. I guide them here once or twice. At that point, make sure they do it at home so they feel that result difference of more flexibility, less pain, and then strength. And with strength, as you know, comes endurance. They walk, instead of walking 10 minutes, they can walk 20 minutes, then 30, 40, 50. That's going to be their goal, is how do we get whatever they're comfortable with a little bit more so they know their body's better. It's healed from the injury.
That's great. I love your approach to chiropractic, by the way. But in terms of like, and this is kind of flipping, but for like my team, like what is your opinion on chiropractic for older adults? 70 plus.
Huge. If it's safe for them. The problem with as we get older, sometimes we develop arthritis and scar tissue. That can basically make the arteries and sometimes the nerves more calcified and less flexible. When we adjust someone's neck, spine, mid-back, low back, whatever it is, we're causing the joint to move without ligaments and muscles sometimes attached along with arteries and nerves. They can overstretch. So with an X-ray we take in the office here, we want to make sure that shows anything that's arthritic around an artery or a nerve. We want to make sure we avoid that area or get further imaging to make sure it's safe for them.
Wow. And then do you modify your techniques for
Of course. Modify our techniques, but also make sure they're comfortable.
Big time.
So when I set someone up for a neck adjustment the first time, I'm looking at how they're reacting. Are they doing this tensing up? Which one's going to work? How are they comfortable? And also after I adjust them, how's their reaction?
That's great.
And how they feel afterwards. I'll check with them that same night too. Hey, what's going on? I saw earlier, making sure you're still alive. You answer the phone, so obviously you are. How are you feeling? And I caution them too. Hey, look, you might be a little sore. Ligaments in your neck haven't been stretched for the last 30 years. Stretched not inside the spine.
Seriously.
At that point, you might be a little sore inside as part of your care of getting things more flexible and over time stronger, more endurance.
That's good. I'm a big fan of chiropractic, like, especially with my clients. And I tell them, and this is like kind of like looping everything together, is like, you know, I didn't believe that there were certain things that only chiropractic can fix. But I know now for a fact there are only things that chiropractic can fix. But it's then they go, well, how do you know? And the thing is, well, don't wait to find out. Like,
you can wait till it's exciting, where you can't move, and your friend has to walk you in the door because even though you're 60, look like you're 90. You know, but can you get? And when someone's there, I don't care what they come in with. If they're urgent, if they're coming in because they want to get healthy, whatever it is, too. I want to make sure they leave here whenever that's going to be. When I see them less consistently, or whenever they want to come in, because then now they have a routine. They feel confident their back is better because they're stronger. They can get back to normal activities at home and dishwasher out. Fold laundry. I had one person, she was in the garage and she's breaking down boxes. Like, I've never done that before in the last 20 years.
That's awesome.
I walked my dog to 45 minutes now with no pain at all.
Yes.
It's that strength and endurance they're getting back. And I'm like, great, you're good. Because now not only are they doing that, but also they feel in their mind they have less chance of injury now. Better balance, better strength. It's getting that mindset of, there's no longer that fear in their voice. And everyone's different, right? And their voice that they can hurt themselves. Because you think you can hurt yourself, you're going to hurt yourself. You're not going to do the things that make yourself better. So I want to motivate my patients to feel uncomfortable, to make sure that uncomfortableness becomes a form of strength, mental strength, so they feel uncomfortable because they get here, like with your workouts with your seniors too, that once you're here, they feel, this is easy. Good, let's make it a little uncomfortable here. Let's do a little bit more here. Let's make it a little harder for you here. Let's walk longer. Let's do more, if you want to call more sit-ups, more planking, more wall squats.
Yeah.
Get them going to where they're doing more because now they feel more comfortable.
Exactly.
So if they can handle this, say a month ago, now they can handle this, can you do even more here and maintain that?
That's great.
I think that's the plan with most people. But seniors, like you mentioned, seniors, they're more anxious because they've had things happen before.
Yeah, a lot more reservations.
Yes.
And they need specialty training. But it kind of brings me, like you were saying, like the lady with unpacked, like she could unpack the boxes. Results for a specific person are very unique to them.
Yes.
The thing is, it's not about losing weight, and it's not about being able to do 1,000 squats, which are cool things, but it's the lifestyle gains, right? It's the, I wasn't hurting when you used emptying the dishwasher. I've heard reaching up overhead for the cabinets or turning around my head to look when I'm driving. Things that I'm like, oh wow, and that enthusiasm, that excitement, like that's what I live for. Like I love that.
Yeah.
But that's also the most motivating. And I think back to the person who's I'm still having trouble, or someone watching the show, like I'm just not motivated to start. and you produce a lot of good content, and it's like there's little things you can do throughout the day. You don't need to sit down and do a full exercise class. Like, we have 5-minute videos, we have 1-minute videos,
Yes.
we have these little things that if you do them, they actually will make a difference. And I'm all about instant gratification. Like, you do this stretch, your hip will feel loose, not tomorrow, like immediately. Or like your posture videos, like your posture will be better immediately. It's not, it doesn't take time to kick in. And that, I use that as like the juice, right? You want to get that going.
That's almost your first step. You feel a difference? Good. That's your step 1. Let's go to step 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of you mentioned earlier too, being consistent. Doing something every day.
Yeah.
Not waiting until you're in pain or you can't move. Doing something now because you want to feel better tomorrow. And keeping that consistent. I tell my younger patients, only do them on days that end with Y.
That's good.
You know, to make sure that they understand it's an everyday thing because you're moving every day.
Yeah.
Can we get whatever, I think, and you know more than me, we've seen a lot of them have more time on their hands. A lot of them sometimes will sit too long and watch a couple movies and not want to move or not feel, especially in the weather right now. It's like California. It's like 52 degrees. We're freezing out here. You know, we can't. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So we don't want to go outside.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, I'm not gonna do anything.
And you touched on. I was thinking about this before the show. Is the negative feedback loop, right? It's well, my body hurt and I'm sore, so I don't want to move. And then I don't move, and that makes me more hurt and sore, and then you kind of spiral down to this very sedentary life.
Yeah.
And coming in and being like, you're sedentary, you need to move, it doesn't work, because as soon as they start, it sucks.
Yeah.
Right? But these little things that you can do, even that's why I was very against chair exercises for a long time. Then it clicked. I said, well, we sit a lot. You can do exercise in the chair.
You're already here.
And I have clients that literally can't stand well.
Yeah.
Or at all. So the chair is mandatory. But I'm saying, you're sitting watching a movie. Oh, now all of a sudden, like, you can't see my legs, but like, oh, okay, now all of a sudden I can. And they're like, that doesn't make it does make a difference. But the challenge I'm incurring, and like you're saying now, like, what were some things that changed since the last time we talked, like, before the pandemic, is how do you remind people to do these things?
Yes.
Like, is there a way? I used to joke, like, you're going to get your phone and my face is going to pop up on your screen. Ah, do it, you know?
So like it's like every like 2 hours my watch goes move.
Oh, you set an alarm?
I don't know, it's just an automatic setting, I guess.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I say that's a good one. I was just kind of like brainstorming some ideas.
But something like where you're telling someone, there's some apps out there that go every hour they go, stand up, do 5 squats.
Yeah.
You know, stand up, move your arms a little bit. So having people motivated to where they realize if I can watch a movie, it takes an hour and a half. If you're watching it on public TV, it takes about 3 hours because you have all the commercials. Can you stretch out your legs? I in my room and my own personal thing, I have a little rug area by my TV. I'll go and roll out my legs, roll out my back, and stretch everything out while I'm there watching a movie.
Smart. Love that.
And, you know, it's something where, and my dog comes over and wants me to pet her, so I pet the dog at the same time. So something where you can do things, even just moving around instead of just being there. But again, I think the problem is people have the habit of doing nothing while they're watching TV. So that's their thing, or they're on their phone, or their iPad, or their flip phone, whatever it is. You know, but how do we get people to realize by doing things while you're doing things already allows you to stay motivated, so at that point your body can actually stay healthy for tomorrow, for the next day. And motivate for me, and healthy for me is injury-free, better balance, and better strength to do things one do every day. Whatever that is for you.
Absolutely.
You know?
And you said, like, how do you get them to do it? And I realized when you said that it actually is an education aspect. Now, education is not like a sexy term they use, but I'm saying,
here's a book, go read it. No.
We don't, and this is including me a long time, I didn't know what to do. Yeah. I may want to do something while I move, or it never even occurred to me that I could do something while I watch a movie. So that's my thing is, like, I try to produce content that, like you said, is entertaining in value, has a lot of production, but also is educational in the sense, like, take this with you. Take this with you. And that's kind of my new phase right now, is that, like, I'm packaging things in, like, small 5-minute clips so people can just, like, unpack that, or having hard copy materials. It's kind of my next thing is hard copy. Yeah. So you have something to look at that remind you, like, oh, hey, here's a bunch of stretches in a chair. Like, I shot my chair stretching protocol. It was like 50 stretches. Like, that's a lot of things to do in a chair. Yeah. You know, I was like, oh.
Wait a second. I have more than I thought you did.
Yeah, I got a lot of options. And you don't have to remember, like, I want them to have something, you know.
Good.
And that's, this is my personal thing. This might not be the smartest business idea in the entire world, but I really just believe a lot of this, most of the stuff should be free.
Yes.
Like, I don't want price to be an issue. Like, to me, it's frustrating that, you would have to pay to get general health and wellness advice. That's why I love YouTube.
Well, you pay your health insurance company for your health benefits. Problem is, it's more sick care than health care.
Sick care. Exactly. They don't pay for training. They don't pay for massage. They don't pay for exercise. And they don't educate you on how. And that's fine. That's not really their job right now, as it should be. Maybe it is, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah, ethical issues.
Yeah. But it's like, and this kind of goes into like another piece that would be interesting to talk about before our time runs out, is people don't even know this stuff exists. So now we're in this, okay, we've talked about the person who has reservations about exercise, and it's like, okay, and then you talk about having someone come in or doing it with them and then giving them to feel that feeling or doing short clips. Now there's this layer behind that of the people who literally don't even know that there's an option. Like, huh? Like, is it even a choice? And it's like, how do we find those people? And if I had the answer to a question for that, that'd be awesome.
I think a lot of it is it's trying to catch them before their injury becomes more permanent, before they need to see an ortho for surgery or neuro for surgery.
Because they're not thinking about exercise, because there's not like a major issue.
And a lot of their jobs may have required walking, moving, doing things that kept them healthy enough. But now if they stopped working, now what do? They don't have a routine. They may have done physical therapy before, but that was going somewhere, someone did it for them, they never got something home. So finding a way for them to understand, if I stay healthy, I'm not going to have problems, is a huge mindset shift. But having Sally, their friend, or Johnny, their friend, tell me, hey, look, this worked for me, why not try this, is a huge way to get people to understand that shift in healthcare is about being healthy, not just not being sick.
Not being reactive.
Not the absence of sickness, not being on medications all the time.
Yeah.
But it takes a shift in someone realizing my strength, my flexibility will prevent me injury and cause me to stay healthy versus these medications.
That's great. I'm glad I came down here because you're right. Mindset's everything.
Huge.
And I love exercise. I love exercise science. I study that, but the psychology is invaluable.
For you, it would be, giving someone a one-page questionnaire. Hey, look, where you are here. Are your medications helping you stay healthy? These questions that are they kind of answer themselves. Do medications keep you healthy, or does exercise keep you healthy? And you're looking at their mindset. It's almost like a psych exam. How much do you walk every day because you want to stay healthy, or do you walk every day because you have the dog to walk? Things like that. What's your limitations every day? What are you uncomfortable doing? What gives you anxiety if you have to walk up a set of stairs, if you have to go off a big curb, if you have to try to rush across the street? What is your anxieties? And pick some things that people may have thought of that go, how do I make this my priority? I want to be able to go up a set of stairs. I'm going to go and exercise just because I want to do this. And once you get to that exercise program, then they go, man, this feels really good. You're tricking them into their goal by getting this routine down. They go, man, if I do this exercise, that actually makes me want to stay better. Plus, I can do the stairs again. I can go upstairs or downstairs. But that end, I want to call it a fear, I want to get over this fear because I want to spend time with my family. I want to be able to go walks with my family, but I can't because I feel like I'm too old. That OLD word. What is that? That's different for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Once you understand what that OLD word means for somebody, maybe in their 50s, 60s, or 70s, because I can't do this when I feel old. I can't get out of bed without pain.
Yeah.
Can we help people get out of bed without pain because you're doing certain things to get them there? That link between them, they go, okay, if I do this, it may hurt a little bit the first 6 weeks, but at that point, I'm going to feel like I can get out of bed with no pain. Now my whole day's better. I can sleep better. I can wake up better. I have more energy now. That old thing starts going away.
Absolutely. I'm so happy you said that. Like, the healthy word. And I have a rule. I have a rule with our team is like, you're not allowed to say
it doesn't exist.
And I tell them, old is not a feeling. You don't feel old, and like you feel tired, or you feel a little weaker, or you feel, you don't feel old. Like, get that out of your head. It's also not an excuse. I can't do this because I'm old. No. I have seen this time and time again. Someone tells me, I can't do this specific movement. I'm like, yeah, you can. They're like, and they do it. It's just that block. And I'm like, so it's just really important that you said that, and that's good. And then the thing is too, like coming from me, they're like, oh, you're young, and I'm like, let's just look around you. Yeah, look at all these people. They said the same way, and they said they couldn't do it. Now they're doing it, and like I said before, I love that. Like I live for that. It's a really joyful experience.
You're seeing difference. You're seeing people actually improve their physical health, but what is their mindset shift to when they're healthier? After 6 weeks or longer.
Oh, their specific mindset shift?
How is their emotional state?
Always better.
Okay.
Always better.
Okay.
It's always better. I had a lady yesterday come to me, and she doesn't speak that good of English.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm learning Spanish. Classes in Spanish coming soon. But she was like, I feel really good mentally. Like, I'm more positive. And she's like, she's like, feel good. She was like, thank you. And I could, like, see the appreciation. And I was like, that's what it is. Oh, what changed about their mentality? They're like, it's a new lease on life.
Yes.
It is. And I mean, that's like the pinnacle of it, but there's these little steps. It's like, okay, now I can take on, I love you said the big curb. I have a client. She has this huge curb for her house. Yeah. The big curb, I can take it on. I can do it. Right?
Because we're younger, those things are not, we're doing something else while we're going over a curb. Go up a set of stairs. People go to a set of stairs and go, man, is that too much today? Because a lot of this, they don't want to start something, getting off of a curb or going up a set of stairs and having to stop. Or ask for help.
Yeah.
So can we keep them mentally and physically stronger so when that pain's away, when they're no longer weak, that brick on top of their shoulders goes away. Now they have also energy now.
Absolutely.
I feel like you said, more positive. I don't feel like I'm as anxious anymore. That positive mental attitude is huge when you see that shift in somebody.
It's true. It's almost like they get a more positive mental attitude, not because we're working on positivity, but because we're removing negativity.
Yes.
And results speak for themselves.
Yes. Right? Absence of pain will make someone feel positive no matter what.
100%. And there's an interesting caveat too, and this is someone who's not working with a practitioner. Yeah. Like, you're not working with me, you're not working with Tony, whatever. You want to work with someone because it gives you that reassurance that if something goes wrong or you have a question, you can always come and ask them.
Yes.
And you're probably big on it. I'm always big on questions. Like, always come ask me questions. Like, always come and ask. So, like, they go out there and like, oh, I wonder what Evan would say. Like, how could I fix this? Or like, this is one for you. Oh, my back hurts. It's okay. I'm going to go see Tony tomorrow. Yeah. So it's like you got someone. It doesn't have to be us, but like you got to find someone that you work with, like someone on your health team.
Exactly, the health team. At that point, you have someone to go. Okay, look, I have this thing going on. I've worked with this. What else can I do? And my first, if you want to call it, question when someone comes in the door. Hey, how's your workout going? How's your routine going? How many days a week you're showing up? How's your walks been? I was trying to remember one thing that got them from before they came last time they were in. At that point, how do we improve that? How do we get that better state by keeping a routine going? And then, if anything, improving that routine over time, adding to it.
That's awesome.
So once I get that, okay, the walks I'm doing well because my ankle hurts, my back hurts, my neck hurts. Okay, how do we get over that pain to get back to routine again? Or I was sick. Okay, you're sick. You're better now. Let's get back to routine. Like you do too, probably. I know you don't let them have excuses. No excuses, right? You're healthy enough to do this, but you have to do it. I can't do it for you. I'll call you to remind you if you want me to. Make sure you walk at 7 o'clock in the morning. But I can if you want me to. Then I don't have to. Okay. I want to make sure you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes that accountability gives them, when you're working with somebody, the accountability of, I want to make sure I'm doing what they're asking me to do because not only am I paying them, but I want to make sure they're happy with me getting the results. So realize, Evan, you're their mentor no matter what. So by them doing the workouts, you're doing it not only for them, but also for you too. Right?
Yeah, of course.
Because you're going to ask them next time they come in, how do you feel with that? How'd that go? I couldn't make it. Oh, sorry about that. How about next time?
Yeah.
When you hire someone, you're paying to pay attention, right? Okay. If I'm going to hire someone, I want to make sure you get results, but you have to do the work. And because you're paying someone, you're going to do the work because you're motivated because you paid somebody. You're motivated also because you want to make sure you don't let them down. I think that's huge.
It's huge.
To get someone started, and then once you see the results, that may think, okay, this is worth it. But given that time frame, the release time frame of 6 weeks allows them to actually see that as a way to understand it's going to take time to get better. I'm not going to feel good. I'm going to feel uncomfortable all the time. Maybe tired, sore, grouchy. But that's the process to get to that point where my results are going to kick in.
Absolutely.
Huge.
It's huge. And that's like, personally, I've dedicated this whole entire year to just making the classes more widely available.
Yes.
Making it about health. And just make it. I want to open the doors wide for everyone to come in.
Good.
And I just feel like there's just not enough exercise for older adults. That's just there for them.
It's not. And the ones that are, they're more of an, I want to say, too easy for some people. So they get here, but they never progress.
Yeah.
So they may be pain-free,
I feel you. Yeah.
but they're not strong enough yet.
True.
Because why? Why do you, my thing is, the liability is sometimes the factor of, do I push someone more with chance of injury, or do I just kind of stay at this lower level? Because of your knowledge, experience, and especially experience, you're able to push someone beyond what they're used to and know that they're not going to hurt themselves.
Oh, absolutely. Safety's number one.
Huge.
Safety's number one.
But it takes
absolutely.
time to understand, except for seniors, how to push them enough, and then at that point give them a chance to get there, then move on further, versus pushing too much where you can cause an injury.
True. And I don't even think that's pushing. I think give them the opportunity to work a little harder.
There you go.
It's
There
their
you go.
choice.
Yeah.
You know, but the encouragement comes, the pushing comes
Yes.
with their, oh, I can't. Yes, you can. I know you can.
I had seen you do other things.
And my thing is, I won't say that if you really can't. Like, I'm not going to be, I have a guy double knee replacement. I'm not going to be like, okay, you can just bend your knee. Like, no, he literally can't.
Yeah.
But he's like, I can't pick this up. Oh, yes, you can.
We'll find a different way.
No, you can pick that weight up. I've seen you do it. Or you can work your shoulders in the class. Like, so it's that level of encouragement and also the opportunity to do so.
But having someone there to go, hey, look, I know you can. You've done other things before. Let's modify it for you. They go, all right, Evan, I'll give you a shot.
Yeah, that's big. And then as we expand too, like, having that reach, that opportunity, and then also having them, making it easy for people to come. I think it should always be brought to the home.
Convenient.
I'm very big on working out at the centers or at the communities as opposed to driving, because a lot of them can't drive. But also too is like consistent group classes where there's groups and there's big groups and there's people that are encouraging, everyone's working together. Good. And then you're either I'm on the screen or I'm there, and it's like we're all doing this together. It's like a team feel. That's my dream. It's true,
And it's something to when you're in a group setting, you're in a community like that, people are never going to put someone down. You're going to motivate someone else. Hey, like I was where you were 3 months ago. If you need my help, I can help you get to where you need to be. Yeah. These are your clients, your people in your class saying this to other clients, because they can see the result. They know it's possible, and they know it's a mindset shift along with the physical change in the body. It just takes time.
That's great.
Just work.
Awesome. Thank you.
Evan, we covered a lot of stuff. I think you're helping people understand that it takes time to get motivated. Even these times right now, it's hard to get to places. You can still do it, making it accessible via your computer, via your TV, via your phone, whatever it might be.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Just get it easy. Anything for your second show, for the Crooked Spine Show? Anything else for your second show?
Oh, well, it's always great, Tony, to have you come on the show. If you guys are interested, it's Senior Fit Online.
Good.
For your parents or your grandparents, or for yourself if you're an older adult. Everyone's welcome, and that's the best way to find us. I have a free workout library on there. You just take us an email. We have a 0 spam policy, and we made an easy way for you to scroll through and
He's a computer guy too, so he knows his stuff.
Yeah, you kind of have to be. But it just makes it easier for them to find the workouts, and then be on the look for us coming to group homes soon.
Good.
Yeah, it's a big one.
And a lot of them, I put all those links in the show as usual for one too. What is your takeaway to help seniors that want to get started? Kind of summarize what we talked about already today.
I learned from you, like, we got to work on the mindset, right? We got to work on how can we help them think about exercise in a way that's not hard, not going to cause them pain, slightly enjoyable.
Good.
Right?
Entertaining.
I like to say slightly enjoyable, right? Entertaining, but also, and then, I think this might be the key, community.
Yes. Huge. Having someone to help someone else that isn't there yet to get there.
So yeah, so how we're going to do that, we're going to tell people.
Good.
And tell people to tell people.
We're not even started. We're halfway through starting talking to more people.
Yeah,
As things open up, then it'll be easier. But until then, let's focus on what we can focus on.
Absolutely.
All right.
Great. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, my friend.
You're awesome.
Quick picture for the camera.
Alrighty.
Smile like you do. Good to go.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Easy, right?
That was good.
You know.
Great.